So let's talk soft toss. Obviously you need a feeder for soft toss, and so the important thing is that when they're flipping you, make sure they're feeding you in the same spot you would be hitting the ball off the tee. So for example, if you have a middle pitch that you're working on, you want the ball to be in a rough area of where this tee is at for the pitch down the middle. You do not want to be hitting the ball back here if we're trying to hit it up the middle or if the pitch is middle of the plate. Same thing, outside corner, they're trying to feed you over this tee so that this is an area where contact's being made. If they're feeding you an outside corner pitch that's way out here, don't hit it. Wait for the right pitch. It's the same thing in the game. If you get a pitch in the dirt going away, you don't want to chase it. So you're developing bad habits if that's what you're doing. So outside corner pitch on the feed, we're trying to get it here. Let the ball come to you and make sure that you can stay inside the ball. And again, trying to hit it over this part of the plate. Inside corner, same thing, where the tee was at, we're trying to get our feeds, our flips in this general area of where we're gonna hit it. If it's not in your area, don't swing. This can be a great drill for you to practice pitch selection. So you get a pitch of where you're trying to hit it, you're driving it. If not, let it go. But it's the same thing. Master the muscle memory in the swing. When I say muscle memory, that's memorizing the movements that each body part has to make in the swing. And so if you're learning on how to turn your hips and use your lower half better, you need to build up the skill of how the hips will rotate. Build up the muscle memory of the belly button going to the pitcher, the back knee driving to the pitcher, the laces on the back shoe driving to the pitcher. We talked about with our back foot how it does not want to be a spin where we're digging into the ground, we're squashing the bug. We want the laces to drive. It's more of a back knee drive instead of a spin and come around the ball. That's how the lower half needs to work. And so one tip as well with your back foot. If you're turning your back foot properly, you should feel more pressure in the big toe. You should not feel pressure on your pinky toe of your foot, because when that happens, you are now turning your foot out and around. You're spinning. We want to drive. We want to drive the knee, the laces, and the big toe forward. And so again, I feel more pressure on the inside part of my foot and not so much the outside part of my foot. This is crucial, and a lot of you guys are not aware of this yet. This is a little bit more advanced of how to turn properly at an elite level, but you need to make sure you understand that. When you do those things, you're now going to be able to pull the knob in closer to your body. Your hands will stay inside the ball a lot easier, and everything else in the swing can work more properly. Work on your bat angle in the stance. And so make sure that your bat position is consistent each time. You do not want to be starting here on one, and then there on another, and then maybe over here. You want to make sure you're consistent. Again, a recap: knob to the catcher, barrel should be more at a 45-degree angle. If I imagine there's water in my bat and I took the lid off the cap off my bat, I don't want to spill the water out of my bat. So we talked about that in the hitting series, but just a recap for that. So be consistent here, be loose, allow yourself some rhythm, allow your wrist to loosen up. That way when you go to load, you can have this pulling motion of pulling the knob back to the catcher where you're getting a proper separation from your knob to your front foot, both going in opposite directions. Right? That's the real power generator, the separation here. And so as I separate with my knob and my front foot, I'm getting all my energy and my power into my back leg. Now when I land, I feel all this energy stored up and I want to turn my hips. And that's the key. A lot of you feel like when you land, you are forced to have to use all this energy to turn your hips because you haven't built up any momentum in your load. So build up momentum in your load so that when that front foot lands, you now feel that you want to jolt your hips through and fire them through with good bat speed. So I'm here, it's load, land, fire the hips and go. And here's the key. If you can build muscle memory and master your swing without worrying too much about the ball, because off a tee the ball's not moving, and with soft toss the ball's moving, but it's not moving fast, right? It's still at a very basic level. We're trying to master our swing with tee and soft toss. If you can master your own swing here, then when the pitcher throws overhand or you get into the game, you don't have to overthink the mechanics. You've already built up the muscle memory. So now you can focus more on seeing and hitting the ball and your timing.